sisters come with the shells and tell the story.
With the elephant off because we the mothers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then that's
Yes,
also the symbol of the seat of Tawaret, the
right.
great
Yep,
mother who sits
yep, the
dead
great
center of
mother.
the
And
zodiac.
that's why
Yep.
she's in the center. And that's why she's in the center.
Yep.
That's why she's in the center. That's the real, that's the real zone. That's the real astrology. The real one. Mm-hmm.
So
And
the
when you
signs
bring
of
it
the
up to Libra,
zodiac is
yep.
the signs of the zodiac. Zodiac means zoology.
Mm-hmm.
Zodiac means study of zoology. So when you study in the stars and you study in the zoo types, you can match the energy in order to read the frequency, and that's how you put the puzzle together.
And also, we kind of looked at us as doulas. Speaking of doulas, we looked at the stars, and not just this Western astrology stars, but kind of what now they've scattered in Vedic or whatever. And we would look and say, okay, this is where the asteroid Sirius is sitting, or Chiron is sitting, or whatever. You know, we would look at all of the energies. And so now what they've now called Egypt or Chemite astrology, right? So when we look at the houses, it was really your houses or your tribes, and we say, okay, this is one from the house of Amun Ra, right? We knew this is going to be a leader. That's why, like we say, politicians or presidents, they're selected, not elected. That's why they say that, right? They choose you, you know, because we knew as readers, as seers, those who were in the house of Aset or Isis, or those who's in the house of Sakamet, or those who were in the house of Nut, or all those different ones. We would look at the energies all around, and we would know, because that's why if you try to translate what they've now called Egyptian astrology in the Western, it does not translate. You can't. It's hard to find a date because it was basically based off of energy. It was based off of energy, not on the date, like how Western astrology because time is not real. Time is an illusion. The past, the present, and the future are all simultaneously existing at the same time. So when the seed would go, not only would we look at the child, but we would look at the mother, and then we would look at the father, and we would look at the energy of the bloodlines, right? Because that's what the whole reincarnation of Aset, Asar, and Haru, right? Is about reincarnation, right? Was. So we would look at the energy and realize about what house you were probably coming in. And not only that, what they call arranged marriages are what we would call compatibility charts. So we would look at Osiris and we say, okay, Osiris needs a Tata Jehudi, right? And he needs to be with a Set or Isis. Because if you are a leader, we know you kind of just up there, you know, we can't just, you got to have something to balance you out, and you need a guider. You need somebody that's going to give you some direction. So just even as we're going into on March 25th, for instance, it's the Libra, you know, full moon eclipse. Eclipses come to eclipse things. It's openings, it's portals, it's doorways, it's gateways, it's endings, it's beginnings. It's going to cancel out final contracts, and it's not by accident. It's, yes, astrologically, but it's right before the Aries new moon, which is right also before Empress's coordination, because these contracts, these final contracts are over. They're ending. They're dead. I mean, of course they're dead, but it's the final ultimatum of it. So, Jehudi, the school of Jehudi, taught us these different sacred sciences like that.
Do you remember you said about hold on, let me back up. I gotta backtrack in my brain for a second.
I know.
It was something you said I gotta go back to. Right before you said school at Tahuti.
When I was talking about the parents and the charts and how we knew like that if we had an Osiris, that we knew he needed to be with a Jehudi and the Isis, like compatibility. We didn't have quote unquote arranged marriages, like just arranged, like we knew who needed kind of be where based off of the energy and stuff like that. I know I said that. And then I said we looked at all of the placements of the astrology and astronomy and the stars. Like when we pull what we call charts, we don't do just how Western astrology only looks at like the few planets in the house.
I remember what I want to talk about. Earlier you said that it's difficult to read Egyptian astrology with modern astrology.
Yeah, you can't cross over. They don't, because we didn't, you
So
know, time is illusion.
one of the things we're not looking at is the astrology that was written in Egypt. We can learn from it, but it was written for a different epic, a different part of this eternal story that we weave in called humanity. It was a different period.
Mm-hmm.
So the alignments are not the same.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right. So when you try to line it up, you're getting confused.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't line up with this era. Just
Right.
like in about another 90, 100 years,
Mm-hmm.
the Aquarian age is not going to line up
Right.
with the Piscean age.
Yeah.
It's going
Right.
to
Because
be
we're out of it.
slightly off. That's why when you're looking in the water, whatever you're seeing is not where you see it at.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's
Mm-hmm.
the shift in
Mm-hmm.
the lens
Moves.
that the
Yep. The
water
way.
does. It's like having on funny glasses,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Or walking through the funny mirrors. It moves stuff in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And then depending on the angle of the light, it can make stuff look clearly outlined or wavy and
Mm-hmm.
wobbly.
Mm-hmm.
Optical
Mm-hmm.
illusion. So this is all the descriptive analysis of the Piscean age we exited out of. So we talked about narcissists earlier,
Mm-hmm.
right?
With the mirror,
Narcissist
I
seen
know what
itself
you
in the water and fell in love with itself.
sure did and fell in.
Got
Yep.
over arrogant. So his
Yep.
face is in the water. He can't see himself for what he really
Yes.
is. He's clouded by the ego.
Yes. Come on
So
now.
when
Come
his
on.
face comes out of the water,
Mm-hmm.
he has to wait for the water to
Settle.
stabilize and
And you never see
settle.
the same waves because the waves are always turning and moving. Yes.
But he believes he looks horrible now
Yes.
because
Yes.
he
Yes.
don't know the science of the wave.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He don't
Mm-hmm.
know he supposed to wait until the water settle in order to get a
Yes.
clear picture,
Yes.
right?
Yes. And water.
That means there'd be from the time that Aquarius closed
Yeah.
and open and Pisces
Mm-hmm.
close, it's a process to
Mm-hmm.
clear up
Mm-hmm.
the waters.
That's why we're saying it's a marathon, not a relay, baby. Because it's,
What
it's a little microwave.
right. So water is the symbol for spirit.
Yes.
This is why everybody was holier than thou 100 years ago.
Yeah. That's why they got the marathon, the maritime law too. They always want to do everything over the water because they did all their illusions over that quote unquote Neptune illusionic with that Saturn Pisces Pluto Aquarius. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So now we come out of that, and what they tell us about the age of Aquarius, this is when all things be but made known.
Mm-hmm.
So now we telling the story, but it's so simple that everybody understand it. But that simplicity makes it so fantastic, nobody can believe it.
Right.
Right. So this is the cognitive dissonance in the reality of a thing, in the current perception being altered of the thing.
That's what we call educated fools. You're gonna
No, you're going through the catharsis, the cognitive dissonance phase.
Yeah, because they like coming out of illusion because they've been so used to being in war. That's why I said right now what the season and energy people are in. Is
You know
people
how
have been
you
in
feel?
war so long they don't know they're not prepared for peace. Like they've been because I think I was telling you I was like you was like what you were doing. I said I've been in my like feminine energy. I just like been loving my house and my energy, which is different because I'm so used to being in war. But I'm like I like this like little peace phase. Like this feels good. But some people are gonna have if they're not prepared, it's gonna be a hard adjustment to be in peace. Like especially if you've been in war for a long time. Like it's okay. You don't have to always have drama or challenges or talk or it's like it's literally it's okay. It's come on back. It's okay. We have
Like,
to open the doula centers and learner centers. Like I don't know if like people watch anime. My sons are really into anime. So if you ever have watched like Hunter x Hunter or Attack on Titans, especially Attack on Titans, right? Aaron Yeager. It's this one part where he had like this whole thing where it was just war. He was born into war, right? Came in from his family, and you talk about a master alchemist and a pre-planner. He pre-planned everything, and everybody thought he was like so good. Then they thought he was so bad, but they didn't realize because when you realize time is an illusion and you walk ahead of time, like when you become and you can be a seer and you see everything in advance, like you're walking it from the future backwards because time is not real, right? People can't understand. And so it took into everything was at peace for his friends, for Aaron Yeager's friends. If you've already finished like season 2 of part 2 of season 4 on Attack on Titans, to realize like everything that you thought was done because he was very meticulous in every move he made, that it was all so you could have peace at the end of the table. And it was like they couldn't even understand sometimes being at the peace in the rebuilding phase, because some people were so used to war. And that's why when we say sometimes everybody can't go, that was what he was saying when he was talking about sometimes that 80-20. The 80-20 wasn't because he just wanted to be bad. The 80-20 was because sometimes some people want to stay in war and they can't process, and they may have to cycle and come back through. So that's why I just work with those who I want to work with. And that's why I'm like, I literally don't have time. Like, I'm not going to even give you my energy, because energy is currency. Like, I'm just not going to do it.
Mm-hmm. My father had a saying. He say, bend the willow when it's young, because when it get big, it's going to be a big, strong tree, and you won't be able to bend it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was using that in reference to the rearing of children. When you recycle that warrior, he come back in as an infant. And as he develop in the new era, he'll be able to grow up learning without the war being wrapped around him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you've been in the pool all day long, and when you get out, you can feel it all in your body, and it feels different because you've been acclimated to the water. Right? Mm-hmm. Water is the symbol for spirit. Mm-hmm. So now we go into the age of Aquarius, mm-hmm. the age of Oshun, the lady who pours the water out, which is the outpouring of the spirit. Mm-hmm. And this is, they say, the spirit of the heavenly host shall rain down upon man. Well, how's it going to rain? It's not coming from the clouds. It's coming from beyond the clouds. Mm-hmm. Right? Because Aquarius is a system of stars. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right? And the water that's raining down, the only way it can come down as in frequency and energy on rays of light. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. These rays of light then animate the people to perform a function, right, to facilitate the energy transfer. Mm-hmm. And that's what they call the voodoo. Yes. Mm-hmm. That's the actual root to voodoo. This is why they told us it was evil. Yes. Because when we dress up to honor ancestors that was crossed over, mm-hmm. we channeling as we dress up. We don't even know which ancestor it is we channeling until we get dressed up. Mm-hmm. And then he started talking. JD's Revenge, JD Walker. Mm-hmm. Right? And that tells the story of how the Conjure Man was able to reach into the future and capture another person to perform the function. They had to be related by blood or it won't work. Mm-hmm. So the chiefs all inherit the wars that the ancestor who they come in to restore, they claim they wars so that they can restore the wars back to peace and bring back the balance. This is how I get to be Chief Pontiac. Yes. Right? This is how Biggie get to be Sitting Bull. Geronimo Pratt get to be Geronimo. Because those old Mississippians who they said was too dumb to learn. Right. And made it against the law for anybody to try to teach them. Mm-hmm. Right? Them old Mississippians ain't gonna never figure this shit out. Country motherfucking bumpkins. So when we talk about the old root women, they the ones who told us, this y'all go ahead and clean this shit up. And then we'll be back. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We'll be back as clan mothers when y'all get done cleaning that shit up. Sure did. I'm what you call the chief of last resort. I got to figure it out. I know I'm one of the if I'm here, it was a problem. Look, if I don't even come back and say, yeah, it was my mama had me programmed from young. Yeah. Always telling me to go figure some shit out. And when I say, how I'm gonna figure it out? She said, I don't know. You smart. I'll be like, Mama, I ain't that damn smart. That's what I be thinking in my head. Where the fuck you get that from? And then she sit back and put her hand. Mm-hmm. And that means go sit down until the answer come to you. That's right. So I've been sitting down collecting all the answers. That's why they say study thyself, go study. Go know thyself, go study, go sit and quiet. You know, sometimes it's okay to just be quiet, listen, listen to self. And also being up under the older mothers or somebody that, and older mothers don't even mean age, it's wisdom.
being the mother matriarch of the family isn't age, it's spiritual age, right? So that's why, like, even in different practices that they call Reiki or whatever, you had to sit up under what they call the teacher, or even people like Empress, she'll have to have someone sit up under her, because you had to learn, because we had to remember, and you had to get the wisdom from the elder mother. Like, I know me as a child, since I could remember, I always sat at the feet of my great grandmothers and my grandmothers and everyone that was of older age or of wisdom, because I was learning.